The biannual ritual of changing our clocks is upon us once again, with Daylight Saving Time (DST) beginning this Sunday, March 9, 2025. While millions of Americans prepare to spring forward and lose an hour of sleep, a significant debate continues about whether this practice should continue. Recent developments, including comments from President Trump and a poll by Elon Musk, have reignited the conversation about potentially ending the time changes altogether. This comprehensive guide examines everything you need to know about daylight saving time in 2025, from practical details to the heated political debate surrounding its future. The mechanics of Daylight Saving Time 2025. Daylight Saving Time officially begins on Sunday, March 9th, 2025, when clocks will spring forward 1 hour at 2 a.m. local time, instantly becoming 3 a.m. This change affects most of the United States, providing more evening daylight during spring and summer months. The time shift means losing an hour of sleep, but gaining extended daylight hours in the evening, which many people appreciate for recreational activities and outdoor events. The practice will continue through Sunday, November 2nd, 2025, when clocks will fall back 1 hour, returning to standard time for the winter months. This biannual time change has been part of American life since it was first implemented nationally March 31st, 1918, as a wartime measure during World War I to conserve fuel for lighting and heating. After being repealed nationwide in 1919, many localities maintained the practice independently until the Uniform Time Act of 1966 standardized daylight saving time across the country, creating consistency in timekeeping practices. Currently, 48 states participate in the daylight saving time ritual. Only Hawaii and Arizona, with the exception of the Navajo Nation within Arizona, have opted out, choosing to remain on standard time year-round. American territories including Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa, the Virgin Islands, and the Northern Mariana Islands also do not observe daylight saving time. The decision by these locations to abstain from time changes reflects their geographic positions and unique needs, with Hawaii's proximity to the equator resulting in minimal seasonal daylight variation. The growing political debate. The controversy surrounding daylight saving time has reached new heights in recent months, with prominent figures weighing in on whether the practice should continue. In December 2024, President Donald Trump posted on his social media platform, Truth Social, that the Republican Party will use its best efforts to eliminate daylight saving time, which has a small but strong constituency. But shouldn't. Daylight saving time is inconvenient and very costly to our nation. However, the president's position appears to have softened somewhat. When recently asked about daylight saving time while signing executive orders, Trump acknowledged the complexity of the issue, noting, "I assume people would like more light later, but some prefer more light earlier, especially for taking their kids to school in daylight. It's very much a 50-50 issue. I can address it, but opinions are split." This characterization of daylight saving time as a 50-50 issue suggests the administration may not prioritize eliminating the practice despite earlier statements. Adding to the national conversation, Elon Musk, who serves on Trump's advisory team focused on identifying government waste, conducted a poll on his social media platform X, asking users whether they would prefer clocks to be an hour earlier or later. If daylight saving time were canceled, the results showed 58% of respondents preferred keeping clocks an hour later, effectively permanent daylight saving time, while 42% preferred an hour earlier standard time. With over 1.5 million votes cast, this informal survey indicates a slight preference for extended evening daylight among Musk's followers. Legislative efforts and historical context. Legislative attempts to address daylight saving time have seen renewed interest in recent years. In 2022, the U.S. Senate unanimously passed the Sunshine Protection Act, which would have made daylight saving time permanent nationwide. However, the bill stalled in the House of Representatives and did not become law. In January 2025, Senator Rick Scott, R. Florida, reintroduced the Sunshine Protection Act, hoping to gain support from the new administration. Scott expressed optimism about Trump's support, stating, "I'm thrilled to have President Trump back in the White House and fully on board to lock the clock, so we can get this good bill passed and make this practical change that will simplify and enhance the lives of American families." The reintroduced legislation would make daylight saving time permanent, meaning Americans would spring forward this March and never fall back again. This is not the first time the United States has experimented with year-round daylight saving time. During World War II, the country implemented wartime, maintaining daylight saving time throughout the year as an energy conservation measure. After the war ended, public opinion turned against the practice, with only 17% of citizens wanting to keep permanent daylight saving time. Another attempt came during the energy crisis of the 1970s, when the U.S. adopted permanent daylight saving time in the winter of 1973-1974. This experiment was short-lived due to public opposition, primarily driven by concerns about dark winter mornings. Kenneth Wright, a sleep researcher at the University of Colorado Boulder, noted that making daylight saving time permanent would cause Colorado to lose more than 2 months of having sunlight in the morning before 8 a.m. and 98 days of having sunlight in the morning before 7 a.m., compared to if we were to adopt permanent standard time. Health and practical implications. The debate about daylight saving time extends beyond political considerations to include significant health concerns. Medical research has documented various negative effects associated with the biannual time changes, particularly the spring transition. Studies have shown an increase in strokes, heart attacks, and traffic accidents in the days following the shift to daylight saving time. The disruption to our natural circadian rhythms, our body's internal clock, secretes what amounts to a form of social jet lag. While some people adjust quickly to the 1-hour shift, others may experience fatigue, reduced productivity, and sleep disturbances that can last for weeks. For children and individuals with certain health conditions, these disruptions can be particularly challenging. Sleep experts have generally aligned against the practice of changing clocks twice yearly, but they don't necessarily favor permanent daylight saving time. Wright, director of CU's Sleep and Chronobiology Lab, stated, "If you look at the expert consensus from the scientific societies that focus on sleep, health, and circadian rhythms, all of them agree this is a bad idea. Yes, we should be getting rid of the time change, but the science suggests we should be sticking with standard time, not daylight saving time." The reasoning centers around how morning light affects human biology. Morning light is good for your health because it promotes earlier sleep timing that is more conducive to school and work start times, Wright explained. Permanent daylight saving time would mean darker mornings and potentially misaligned biological rhythms for many people, especially in northern regions or western portions of time zones. Economic and social considerations. Proponents of daylight saving time emphasize its economic benefits, particularly for certain sectors of the economy. Extended evening daylight encourages outdoor recreation, which is beneficial both for health and commerce. More daylight in the evening provides additional shopping time for retailers. Benefits: restaurant business, and supports evening events and tourism. Steve Forbes, in a recent commentary, defended daylight saving time as providing better use of the sunshine with an extra hour in the evening. He argued that the additional evening daylight serves as an incentive for more outdoor recreation that's good for our health and our dispositions, while also being wonderful for commerce. Forbes further suggested that daylight saving time reduces electricity costs by decreasing the need for artificial lighting in the evening, providing additional economic benefits. Various businesses have embraced daylight saving time as a marketing opportunity. This year, companies including Grubhub, Burger King, Kroger, and Starbucks are offering special promotions to help customers adjust to the time change. Kroger, for example, is providing customers with a Kroger Hour Back Box containing time-saving essentials like coffee and frozen breakfast sandwiches, along with a 1-year Kroger Boost membership that includes free delivery services. Preparing for the time change. As we approach Sunday's time change, there are several practical steps individuals can take to minimize disruption to their sleep schedules and daily routines. Digital devices like smartphones, computers, and many modern appliances will automatically adjust to the new time, but analog clocks and certain electronic devices may need to be manually reset. To ease the transition, sleep experts recommend gradually adjusting bedtimes in the days leading up to the time change. Going to bed 15-20 minutes earlier each night can help the body adapt more smoothly to losing an hour of sleep. Exposure to natural morning light on Sunday can also help reset the body's internal clock, making the adjustment less jarring. For those particularly sensitive to sleep disruptions, limiting caffeine consumption in the afternoon and maintaining a consistent. If you like the type of content that we post here, you can like or subscribe.